What is up, everybody? It is Monday, November 2nd, 2015, and this is Radio Tokyo, and I'm, of course, your host, Jonathan. Now, let's see, it seems like it's been a whole month since we last spoke, and technically, I guess you can say that, but of course, this weekend was very busy. Halloween was this weekend. There were people in costume everywhere. Had a lot of fun this weekend. I really did. Dressed up as Scarecrow, as I mentioned on Friday, and just had a lot of fun. I scared a lot of little kids, and some adults too. Actually, what I did was one of my sisters came over and she helped me pass out candy, and I just stood around in my costume outside in the dark and would just stand there, and little kids would walk up to me, would poke me and say, "Is that real?" And my sister would be like, "No, no, no. It's just decorations." And I would go rah and scare the shit out of the kids. It was hilarious. One of the times I got it, there was a huge group, maybe 20 people total. I'm talking adults down to a little baby. Wide range of people that came up to the house, and I jumped out and scared them. And this person who I've been calling him the Dags. I don't know what else to call him. He threw his cell phone at me. Well, not so much at me, but kind of tossed it away, backing up, and then he fell over and he almost dropped his little infant. I kind of felt bad, but him saying, "Holy shit, that was awesome! That was the greatest thing ever tonight," kind of made up for it. But babe, don't worry, the baby's okay. Cell phone's fine. But yeah, it was a good night. It was a very interesting night. Um, but new month, new day, stuff going on. And speaking of stuff going on, I want to talk for a minute about Operation Ku Klux Klan. Those of you who do not know anything about Anonymous, other than they're activists, I guess you want to call it that. They released a list today of it's about 1,000 people who are involved with the Klan. Of course, Anonymous is really good at getting information about people who do bad shit. And part of their statement said, "We are not attacking you because of what you believe in, as we fight for freedom of speech. Uh, we never stop watching you. We know who you are. We know the dangerous extent to which you will go to cover your asses. Originally, we did not attack you for your beliefs, as we fight for the freedom of speech, but we attacked you due to your threats and to use lethal force." Now, this is pretty interesting, um, because the list is public. I mean, it wasn't just put up and then not talked about. It's public. You can find the list of people that are involved in the Klan easily. It's interesting. I mean, it's groups like Anonymous are changing the face of the country. They're changing the way that we think about everything that we do and that we say. And I just wanted to bring it up because if you're familiar at all with Edward Snowden, you know what the government has been doing. All of the monitoring that the federal government has been doing of United States citizens, so you're aware of what they do. And that's essentially what Anonymous is doing. They're using that roughly that same information, and they're trying to fix problems that are around. Now, whatever fault you may find in what they do, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It may not be a good thing. I don't know. I'm not, involved in Anonymous, and I don't really know anything, you know, at the deeper level of what they do, other than wearing Guy Fawkes masks and, exposing people who are assholes to everybody else. But I gotta say, good job, Anonymous. I mean, it's not that the Klan is, the power is the power that it once was, 70, 80 years ago, but there are still some pretty violent people in there. So I guess in a way, thanks for, removing their masks. But yeah, anyway, moving on back to, more typical Radio Tokyo stuff. Saturday was the first episode release of Ash versus Evil Dead. Now, we mentioned it on the Friday show, talking about how it was coming out and everything. Or was it before that? No, it was Friday. I'm sorry. I had to stop the thing. Excuse me for that. But I watched it. That was actually how I spent my lost hour. It was watching Ash vs. Evil Dead. And I have to say, if you have never seen the Evil Dead movies, for starters, you need to go back and watch them if you get a chance. But secondly, you don't need to with this. It catches you up entirely in the first episode. Now, it doesn't, show you everything that went on, but it does give you enough information that you can watch this show and still enjoy it. It's fantastic. Bruce Campbell is amazing in this. He's hilarious. He's funny. I enjoy the supporting cast around him. I enjoy the story so far. It's really, really good. And if you get, you know, a chance to watch it, please absolutely watch it. It's really good. Speaking of upcoming TV shows, though, well, not just really upcoming TV shows, because this is already out. By the way, I believe Lexi mentioned this on our Friday show, but Ash vs. Evil Dead has already been renewed for another season because it was the first episode was shown at New York Comic Con, and it had such a positive response that it was renewed right then without actually having been on TV. It's good. It's that good. But anyway, speaking of TV shows that are coming out, there's a new Star Trek TV show coming out. I'm excited. You should be excited. I hope. Um, Now, I don't know the exact premise of it. I'm not sure if this is going to be dealing with the alternate universe, which you see in the quote unquote reboot films with Chris Pine and whatnot. But it's going to be on CBS, and it should be coming out, I believe, January of 2017. Of course, next year we have the next uh, feature film the next feature film coming out, and I'm looking forward to that. Um, I like some of what they have done with the the revisioning essentially of Star Trek. I don't hate it. I know a lot of people that are Star Trek fans look at it and say, "Oh, I don't like it," and this. I have some doubts and I have some problems with it, but it's still Star Trek. I'm still gonna watch it. It's an amazing series, even though it's done a little bit more, action intensified and whatnot. But I like what J.J. Abrams did with Star Trek, and which is why I hope that's what he does with Star Wars. I mean, it's really he's essentially made Star Trek like an action film, like Star Wars has always been. Now, it's not that Star Trek doesn't have action in it. It's just it's never been, something that action fans have looked at and said, "I want to go see." That's what he's done. He's gotten more people into Star Trek because of it. So hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, then I guess no big loss. It's still Star Trek. Like I said, I'm still gonna go watch it. But in other news, uh, it was announced, I think yesterday, day before yesterday, that Kristen Hager will be joining the cast of Gotham. She'll be playing Nora Freeze. Now, those of you who do not know anything about Nora Freeze, you may be surprised to learn she's the wife of Mr. Freeze. She's the reason that Mr. Freeze does what he does. Uh, all that's typically ever said about her is that she's stunningly beautiful. She was intelligent, and Victor Freeze was in love with her. I mean, literally will turn heaven and hell to find a cure for her disease. Of course, Victor Freeze is a cryogenic scientist, and he froze his wife before she could die, and has been keeping her alive, in a cryogenic chamber, and that's why he commits all his crimes. So, Christian Hager, like I said, is going to be showing up as Nora Freeze. I'm excited to see that. And also, around the same amount of time, it was announced that Nathan Darrow will be joining the cast of Gotham as well, and he'll be playing Mr. Freeze himself. So we're getting matched pair, Victor Freeze and Nora Freeze. I'm excited. I actually am very excited to see it. Mr. Freeze is probably um, one of my more favorite Batman villains. And of course, everyone likes the Joker. Excuse me, everyone likes, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and whatnot. But I really like Mr. Freeze. His story is so sad to me. I mean, it's just this tremendous loss that he's facing. The only woman he's ever loved, the woman he's ever cared about, and he's going to lose her. So he has to turn to crime to try and find something to help her. And it breaks him. And that sense of loss is, of course, something that's very prominent in a lot of stories. But I like it with Mr. Freeze. It's a beautiful story. And if you get a chance, look up Mr. Freeze and learn a little more about him if you're not already aware of who he is and what he does. And lastly, today I want to talk about something that was just announced this morning. That is that this Friday there will be worldwide premiere of the Warcraft movie trailer. Yes, it's coming out on Friday. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know what's going to be in it. I don't even know if I'm going to like it, but I am genuinely excited about it. And of course, along with that was the excuse me, the first trailer. Oh, no, not trailer. I'm sorry. Poster was the actual poster was released. I do not know if this will be, the poster that's going to be in movie theaters. It might be changed. But yeah, poster's out, and of course it's got Ren and I believe it's supposed to be Durotan. I could be wrong. I'm not exactly sure. Because the individual you see in here is clearly wearing a wolf's head, and it makes me think of Durotan. Might not be. I don't know. But like I said, we'll find out on Friday. I'm really really looking forward to it, and that's really it. That's really all I had to say today. So thank you for listening. Please remember to like us on Facebook. Please remember to like this video, comment on it, share it. I'll talk to all of you Wednesday, and I hope all of you have a amazing day. I hope you had a fun Halloween. So yeah, good talking to all of you. And like I said, I'll talk to all of you Wednesday. Goodbye, everybody.